What if I told you the world's fanciest vacuum cleaner was born out of 5,126 spectacular failures? That one British guy's stupid obsession, mocked by the entire cleaning industry, became a $10 billion empire. This isn't just about dust, people. This is about the wildest, most stubborn comeback in business history. Buckle up. Let's be honest, nobody dreams of growing up and revolutionizing vacuum cleaners. Unless, of course, you're James Dyson, a man so obsessed with suction, he basically put them mad in Mad Scientist. Picture this. It's the 1970s. Bell-bottoms are in, disco is king, and James Dyson is in his garage, surrounded by what can only be described as a graveyard of failed vacuum prototypes. Not one, not 10, but 5,127 of them. If persistence had a face, it would be Dyson's, covered in dust, probably sneezing, and definitely questioning his life choices. So how did this dust-covered odyssey begin? Dyson was frustrated. His vacuum cleaner, like everyone else's, lost suction faster than you lose motivation on a Monday morning. The bag would clog, the suction would die, and suddenly you're pushing around what's basically an expensive noisemaker. Instead of cursing at his vacuum and moving on like a normal person, Dyson thought, hey, what if I fix this? Because apparently some people see a problem and think opportunity, while the rest of us just buy a new vacuum and complain about it on social media. He found inspiration in the weirdest place, a sawmill. Most people visit a sawmill and think, wow, that's a lot of wood, dust, and probably tetanus waiting to happen. Dyson thought, cyclone technology. If it could separate sawdust from air, why not separate dust from my living room carpet? This is the difference between regular people and inventors, folks. We see a sawmill. We think lumber. Dyson sees a sawmill. He thinks revolutionary cleaning technology. The man literally looked at industrial equipment and said, you know what? This could make my house less dusty. Genius idea, right? Except nobody cared. The vacuum industry was stuck on bags. Those paper things that clog, tear, and make you question your life choices every time you have to change them. But here's the kicker. Bag sales were a cash cow, and the big brands wanted to keep milking it. Why solve a problem when you can profit from it forever? Dyson? He decided to break the rules. He spent 5 years, every penny he had, and probably most of his sanity, building prototype after prototype. Imagine being his spouse. Honey, how was your day? Great. Prototype number 2749 exploded, but I only lost some eyebrows this time. His neighbors probably thought he was running some kind of weird science experiment. The local hardware store likely knew him by name. Oh, here comes James again. Wonder what he's blowing up today. Failure became his best friend. But here's the billion-dollar secret. Each failure was actually a lesson. Each prototype brought him a tiny bit closer to the perfect cyclone-powered bagless vacuum. It's like the world's most expensive and time-consuming game of trial and error. And finally, after what must have felt like a lifetime of disappointment, prototype number 5,127, yes, really, worked. No loss of suction, no bags, just pure, relentless cleaning power that would make neat freaks everywhere weep with joy. Dyson had done it. He'd cracked the code. He'd solved the problem that had been annoying homeowners for decades. Time to get rich, right? Not so fast. So he marched his revolutionary invention to every big vacuum company. Hoover, Electrolux, you name it. He walked into boardrooms with his game-changing design, probably expecting ticker tape parades and immediate contracts. Instead, they all laughed him out of the building. Why? Because Dyson's design would completely kill their bag business. Why sell a vacuum once when you could sell replacement bags forever? It's like selling someone a car that never needs gas. Great for the customer, terrible for the gas station. The rejection was brutal. One executive literally told him, if there was a market for this, we would have invented it already. Ouch. That's like telling Shakespeare, if people wanted good plays, we would have written them ourselves. Most people would have quit right there. Well, I tried. Time to go back to my day job and pretend this never happened. But not Dyson. This man doubled down harder than a Vegas gambler with a lucky feeling. Fine, he said, I'll do it myself. He mortgaged his house. He risked everything. He put his name literally on the product. In 1993, the first Dyson vacuum hit the market. This wasn't just a business launch. This was a man betting his entire future on the belief that people wanted their vacuums to actually work. The price? almost double what competitors charged. Industry experts said he was insane. Nobody will pay premium prices for a vacuum cleaner, they scoffed. Within 18 months, it was the UK's best-selling vacuum. People were lining up to pay more for a vacuum because it actually worked. Imagine that, customers willing to pay premium prices for products that do what they're supposed to do. But Dyson didn't stop at just making vacuums that worked. He made the dustbin see-through. Industry experts said, "No one wants to look at their filth, that's disgusting." Dyson said, "Are you kidding? People love seeing what they've sucked up." And he was absolutely right. That see-through chamber became a badge of honor for neat freaks everywhere. Suddenly, vacuuming transformed from boring chore to oddly satisfying sport. People were literally showing off their dust collections like trophies. He even turned vacuuming into a flex. "Oh, you got a new car? Well, check out the dust bunny I just sucked up." Dyson understood something about human psychology the entire industry missed. We're weird, and we like seeing proof of our cleaning accomplishments. Today, Dyson's company rakes in over £7 billion a year. James Dyson himself, worth somewhere between $10 and $15 billion. Not bad for a guy who spent 5 years as the world's least successful vacuum salesman and probably the most persistent person in Britain. From a dusty garage filled with broken prototypes to a global empire that makes everything from hair dryers to air purifiers. The man who couldn't get anyone to take his vacuum seriously now has retailers fighting to keep his products in stock. Dyson didn't just reinvent the vacuum cleaner. He reinvented an entire industry. And here's the thing, Dyson's real genius wasn't just engineering. It was refusing to give up when the world told him no over 5,000 times. His journey is proof that success isn't about never failing. It's about refusing to stay failed. Today, Dyson is a brand that people associate with cutting-edge design, premium quality, and yes, insanely powerful suction. From sleek hair dryers to bladeless fans, his company now dominates in multiple categories, all born from that stubborn determination to make something better. So the next time your big idea gets laughed at, remember James Dyson, the man who turned 5,126 failures into a $10 billion empire. Sometimes, the world needs a little time to catch up to your vision and your vacuum cleaner. If you love stories like this, of brands that rise, fall, and rewrite the rules, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because I've got plenty more backstories coming your way. Who knows, the next one might just inspire your own billion-dollar breakthrough.